Well, well, Demon Slayer has returned for a third season. Now, because of how long this episode is, it'll be split into three separate parts. The upper moon meeting, the stuff with Tanjiro and his recovery, and then the rivalry to the swordsmith village. Here we go. For the upper moons, having them all kind of come together because for the first time in many years, the roster of them has been shifted. A demon slayer has been able to kill one of the top 6, which, yeah, Muzan doesn't fucking like. He doesn't like change, and this little change has basically pissed him off. And seeing Upper Moon 2 and 3's reaction, obviously Doma is just doing whatever the fuck he wants because he's number 2, and Akaza just purely fucking hates him, even if he's acting friendly per se. But yeah, it's quite fun seeing their interactions between Akaza, Doma, hell, fucking Kokushibo. Seeing this behemoth in animation is quite lit, if I were to say so myself. And having him basically threaten Akaza is, especially with how Akaza took down one of the stronger demon slayers on his own, and then this upper moon just casually cuts one of his hands off, and it's like, you better start respecting the order unless you want to get killed, mister. It's just fun. Also, Muzan just grabbing the head of Upper Moon 5 is quite hilarious, especially considering how easily he can get pissed off. But yeah, they're basically going to the swordsmith village. They want to cut off any assistance that the demon slayers are getting in regarding to like their weapons. So it is pretty neat seeing that, yes, everything is getting connected, and it's all because of Tanjiro's victory over Upper Moon 6. I am excited to see more of Upper Moon 4 and 5, especially seeing in the opening, as they are the main key problems that our protagonists are going to have to deal with. Also, I gotta love it. If Doma had went with them like he wanted to, I can guarantee that no one would have survived that fucking battle. Tanjiro's recovery is kind of an interesting thing, since this is obviously the middle part, but we have him talk to one of the strongest of the demon slayers, Yorichi. And it's not even Tanjiro talking to him, it's basically a past version of him, an ancestor per se. So it's interesting that Tanjiro is basically seeing this memory, well, an ancient memory at this point, and his recovery is kind of funny. It's just basically everyone's waiting for him to wake up since he's the last one. And while he was out, Inosuke and Zenitsu kind of just went off and started doing Demon Slayer stuff. And considering how much shit those three had gotten themselves in the Entertainment District arc, I can guarantee that Inosuke and Zenitsu are fine on their own against at least low, even mid-tier demons that kind of can handle it themselves.
Though I would like to add that it is also hilarious that during Io basically recapping what was going on, Zenitsu breaks the fourth wall and just is like, do you miss me? Do you miss me? After Io basically says that, yeah, he's kind of a handful for the other demon slayers. It's kind of hilarious.
It's interesting having that, yeah, the guy who is basically making Tanjiro's sword, or well, swords, because he's ripped a bunch of them at this point, is very fucking pissed at him. And yeah, he doesn't want to make him anymore. If anything, just a tiny chip, and it's like, no sword for you. You can go fucking die. Considering you tried to kill him the last fucking time. Actually, he tried to kill him every time he's ruined the swords. But anyway, that's getting off topic. So yes, he needs to go to the swordsmith village to kind of deal with the whole weapons thing. And they have a method in order for not one person to know where exactly it is. So they're having him basically jump person to person
in order to reach the swordsmith village.
As for the whole swordsmith village, there is a lot to say, but the first things first is, yes, I didn't fucking think we'd get this scene at all. And Honestly, I kind of expected them to cut it.
Anyway, moving on from that, we have the swordsmith people wearing those creepy ass masks talking about Hesuka. Yeah, I'm gonna have a hard time calling him by his name. I apologize. Basically,
It's kind of like the outcast of the group.
since they basically do say that his craftsmanship is kind of weak, considering that the weapon shouldn't be breaking, as well as, well, his temper.
And it's kind of funny because Tanjiro is somewhat viewed as an outcast, considering that he's protecting his sister that's a demon. And a lot of the demon slayers probably don't like that. But what makes this next scene funny is Mitsuri is basically coming in, running towards Tanjiro while she's sad about something. And Tanjiro's immediate thing is that her opais are basically about to be shown. And it's like, the fuck priorities, I guess. But it is nice that he's like, she's telling him, oh, I was trying to talk to someone and this guy was just very mean or distant, or they wanted to talk. And it's like, we later come to learn it's Genya, the guy who basically was harming one of the people in charge. That he was being a jackass, basically. And even then, Tanjiro jumps in and is trying to be kind spirit. But that just pisses him off. Although it's quite nice seeing Nezuko just randomly appear into the fucking bath. We do have Tanjiro and Mitsuri basically speaking. Mitsuri being quite the interesting older sister to Nezuko, because Nezuko seems to be having a lot of fun with Love Hashira. And we get one of the most dumbfounding scenes I've ever seen. Why is Mitsuru in the Demon Slayer Corps? She wants to find a gentleman who she will spend an eternity with. Even Tanjiro is kind of fucking dumbfounded to hell. After this, we do get a little more of Tanjiro exploring. We do see the Mist Hashira there, and we get to see Yorichi. Or, well, what is assumed to be Yorichi. The episode ends with that. Tanjiro remembering Yorichi, having seen him before through the memory as shown in the second half, in the middle of the episode. Overall, this episode is what I expect. It's setting up all of the cards for all that's going to happen. Who are the antagonists? Who are the protagonists that are going to deal with these antagonists? One thing that caught my attention is the opening on how Tanjiro is with the Mist and Love Hashira, and they're all facing the same direction. Similar to how Tengen was going the same direction in his opening. But I guess what's even more interesting is the fact that it's only Rengoku's opening that him and Tanjiro are not facing the same side, implying that yes, it seems like these Hashiras are going to survive the fight. But as I said, overall, what a damn good start. Honestly, I'm excited to see what the fuck's gonna happen next.